Good morning and welcome back to Keto Living with Dale and Judith. Today's video is going to be like our most recent video, my full day of keto anti-inflammatory eating and my husband Dale's full day of low carb eating. And we're going to start with breakfast. Now, I already had my breakfast 2 hours ago. I had my coffee with half a cup of full-fat coconut milk, 3 grams of net carbs, along with my greens, beets, and liver powdered capsules. I take those for their nutritional values and their arthritis-fighting properties. Those are 1.9 grams of net carbs, making my breakfast 4.9 grams of net carbs. But let's get started cooking Dale's breakfast, and we always start with the bacon. 2 slices of uncured, no sugar, Applegate bacon. Dale's blood sugar does better with a keto breakfast. He eats around 50 net carbs a day. He wakes up with a normal blood sugar, but before lunch it tends to be high, so we've learned to keep breakfast as few net carbs as possible. So today's breakfast is 4.1 grams of net carbs. And it's Sunday, so that means a keto waffle, 1.8 grams of net carbs. Start Dale off with his hot tea to help him warm up. And here's today's variety. It's fennel, mint, basil, and chamomile. And I sweeten it with just a touch of liquid stevia, which is my keto sweetener of choice. And did you see Dale's recovery mug? This was a gift from one of his agencies that he works for. He is an independent sign language interpreter. And he's doing good. Every day he's able to do more. He's building his strength. He's now helping wash dishes, take out the trash, and helping with a few projects around the house. But he still gets tired. Every day he ends up exhausted. Because, it's only been 2 months since his liver transplant surgery. Now, the waffle's ready, so let's keep it warm in the toaster oven, and we're going to add half a tablespoon of butter. The butter's soft, so I decided to wait until I served the waffle. But now the water's ready. Let's fill up the tea and bring it into Dale. Ooh, my tea is here. Today is the Secret Garden. So it has lavender. What else? I can't remember. It's a secret. Mint, that's right. Basil, fennel, and one more, chamomile. However you spell it. Oh, that's right. The Secret Garden doesn't have lavender. Delicious. Because of Dale's liver transplant medication, he's struggling with low potassium. So I'm going to include more avocado. Now, he already eats guacamole with lunch and often with dinner. And I love fresh whole avocado, but Dale's not too crazy about it. So we're going to add it to his eggs. Half of a fresh avocado for 1 gram of net carbs. But avocado is high in calories, so I'm going to have to cut back calories in some other areas. So I've reduced the butter and the eggs. Normally for breakfast he has 3 eggs, and we're going to bump him down to 2 for 1.1 grams of net carbs. And to help with him get used to the avocado, now he's just tolerating it, but hopefully he's really going to learn to enjoy it, I'm going to add an ounce of Monterey Jack cheese to the eggs. 0.2 grams of net carbs. And we're using Monterey Jack because it has less carbs than cheddar. Because we have to balance net carbs for blood sugar, nutrition for Dale, his added protein that he needs, added iron, added potassium, and added magnesium. But we have to balance that with calories. He's already gained back his weight. Before surgery, he was 185, and after surgery, I think 185 is good for him, but after surgery, he had dropped down to 175. No, actually, it was 173. That's way too thin. So now he tends to fluctuate between 184 and 186. So I have to keep feeding him the right way, but be careful and not let him keep gaining weight. All right, I think the bacon's ready. I've already turned it off, and let's start cooking the eggs. Oh, and before that, I need to prep my lunch. Can you see me? Before I cook the eggs, I need to get some of my frozen chicken thighs for my lunch. 2 chicken thighs for me for lunch because remember, I don't eat dinner. The squash is 10.1 grams of net carbs. And I'm also going to have beets, greens, and liver capsules. And that's going to add 1.8 grams of net carbs. Meaning lunch will be 11.9 grams of net carbs. And I picked all these different options for their anti-inflammatory arthritis-fighting properties. I like to follow the principles in a book written by Terry Walls called The Walls Protocol. Typically, when you have low potassium, a doctor will recommend adding bananas and potatoes into your diet. But those just are not an option for Dale. Remember, we control his blood sugar through diet. And the prednisone he's on right now causes his blood sugar to go up. Before surgery, he took metformin to control his blood sugar, but he can't take that right now. So bananas and potatoes are not an option. Plus, they're going to ruin his taste for keto foods. Adding in that sugar is just not going to make things taste normal anymore. So if you need more potassium in your diet, of course, talk to your doctor, but avocados are a great keto option. Breakfast, like I said, is 4.1 grams of net carbs. Let's bring it into Dale. Ooh, it's time to eat. Waffle, eggs with avocado is good. And bacon, yeah. Oh, why am I having avocado? because it's high in potassium and I need it. And really, I'm learning to like it. And it's real avocado. Okay, after breakfast every day, it's time to take different medications. Here they are. Here's my little pill box. And this is to prevent me from rejecting my new liver. It's not my liver. And if I don't take these medicines, my body will reject it and I'll die, which I don't want. I want to keep going every day, and I haven't missed it once. Breakfast is done. Now it's time to check on the garden and feed the birds and collect some squash and then drive to my son's memorial garden to harvest some sunflower heads because his sunflowers are done. Looks like it just rained. That's good. I don't have to water. July has been a very dry month here. Aren't the sunflowers gorgeous? They've gone crazy this year. They're absolutely giant. Catbirds love grape jelly. And this year, a crow has been coming and getting a bite every day. I really enjoy the birds and the squirrels too. These are Dell's Future salad greens, a variety of greens. And these also add potassium in his diet. Soon, peppers and eggplant are going to be ready. You ready to go harvest sunflowers? Yep. And look at the onions. These are all ready for storage. Dell needs to be careful here outside. He has to be careful about bacteria, funguses, spores, all those things that are out in the garden. I'm going to bring these home to feed to the squirrels and the birds. I don't want the animals here coming and digging in these sunflowers for the food. Beautiful sunflowers. Let me show you. It's hot. It's 98% humidity, and I've been sweating, so drinking some Gatorade Zero is important. I'm going to leave these here to dry out. I have 4 that I'm going to bring out now to feed the squirrels. Maybe the birds too. This is the first year the squirrels have not touched the sunflowers. Normally they'll chew off quite a few of the heads, and it's because, remember these baby squirrels that you've been seeing on the videos? You know, they lost their mother when they were really young, and she never taught them they could eat sunflowers. So we'll see. We'll put these out and see what happens. I'm hoping they'll learn sunflowers are a good source of food. I just bought some new squirrel food and it has some corn in it, and they haven't touched it because they've never eaten corn before. It's really interesting. One squirrel ate some of the sunflowers. The other ones haven't touched them yet. They like to pick up the individual seeds with the hulls. So we have 5 young squirrels out here, and I need to walk up to the balcony to drink my Zevia, but I really hate to disturb them. And you see the crow that came? I hope it comes back to eat the jelly. Right now, Dell's resting. And in about an hour, we're going to go out to a local plant nursery. It's an eco-friendly nursery. It's going to close soon, so we want to check it out. So I just harvested a few tomatoes and the last of the blackberries. Not in the best shape, but I'm going to use that in my Chia cereal. I'll add a little bit of liquid stevia to sweeten them up. 1 ounce of blackberries and 4 summer squash. The Chia cereal, I warm it and I have it before bed. It's 5.3 grams of net carbs for half a cup of coconut milk, half a cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. About half a teaspoon of liquid stevia. And the blackberries, 1 ounce is 1.2 grams of net carbs. So that's going to make tonight's snack 6.5 grams of net carbs. And Dale's going to have the ratio protein yogurt for his nighttime snack. Six grams of net carbs, and we're going to add in that, because he cannot eat home fermented foods, and we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of frozen blackberries. $7.2 grams of net carbs, including the blackberries. And Dale just drank his, how do you spell it, own chocolate elite drink for the added potassium. And that potassium comes from broccoli, spinach, and kale that's in the chocolate shake. The label says there's no carbs, but I doubt. Legally, it can be 0.4 or less, so I really doubt it's 0 carbs. I forgot to mention at breakfast that my chicken and my squash I put on delay start, and I'm comfortable doing that since the chicken breasts are frozen. But I would never do that for Dale. We have to be really careful with food safety for him. He can get sick really easy right now. Zevia is a dye-free soda sweetened with stevia, and I really enjoy it. Helps cool me off after working in the garden. Sit back and enjoy the birds and the squirrels. Yesterday, the mother catbird brought the fledgling and fed it grape jelly. But today, she wants it to eat independently, and she's just supervising from above. It's interesting. This is his territory, and he loves to feed his mate. Hopefully she'll come and I can catch that on camera for you. This garden is my oasis, and yes, it keeps me active and gives me healthy food, but more importantly, it's good for my mental health. It gives me a non-food related activity to fill my time, to fill my thoughts, and for me to look forward to. Because if you struggle with obesity like I did as an adult, even though I grew up thin as a child, you're always thinking about food because you're always hungry. And that's where these weight loss drugs that originally were developed for diabetes help. They quiet that food noise. Now, I lost 150 pounds, but part of that's because I found a way to not always dwell on food. And when you're always thinking about food, it gets you off track. And I believe that all has to do with insulin resistance. And that's what these drugs combat. And so they keep that food noise quiet. Now, I lost my weight 8 years ago before the drugs existed, so I don't see a need to be on them now. But I don't constantly think about food, and I'm not constantly hungry because I'm in fat burning mode. And it lowers that insulin in my body just like these weight loss drugs do. So for me, substituting food with the garden is helpful. Yesterday, the mother bird also taught the baby how to harvest blackberries. And that's the reason I don't get super ripe berries. I don't mind sharing with the birds that I really am thinking next year to switching to some dwarf varieties for the raspberries and the blackberries. And then I can cover them with my tall hoops like I did the blueberries. That's been very successful this year. I don't have to share the blueberries with the birds anymore. So when they're flowering, they'll have to be open to be pollinated, but then once everything's pollinated, I can close them up and get a better harvest. So, tired of not having enough raspberries and blueberries that aren't very sweet. You see the goldfinch? I really enjoy watching them here. That's the big reason I grow so many of the smaller sunflower heads here in the back. They'll just flock here. They really just started to arrive recently, but that one is defending his territory and chasing all the other goldfinch off. But I'm hoping as more come, the garden will be full. Really do enjoy these goldfinch. They're so beautiful. Because Dale can do more and he's more independent, I'm back to walking every day, 3 miles. Walking is a big part of my weight loss journey too, and my maintenance. I walk 6 days straight, 3 miles, and then I rest 1 day. You need 1 day for your muscles to repair. So I encourage you to find some activity to get involved in. Biking inside the house, doing an arm bike, or doing one of those little floor bikes, walking your hallways. Other options if you're not able to get out. Maybe you can't walk 3 miles like I do, but remember, I started with just 1 mile, and I walked to the closest grocery store to buy my food. And I used a walker. And I had a cooler. And when I got home, I would ice my ankles, my feet, and my knees. So understand, it's not easy to get active again, but I encourage you to find something to get you moving. This year, the blue jays raised 3 babies here. Normally, in past years, they would only come in the morning to get peanuts and leave. But this year, they've been in the garden really frequently because they're living close by. And that's one of the young ones, still a baby. Even the common house finch are beautiful. Now it's time for lunch, and soon my chicken and squash are going to be ready. And along with that, I'm going to have half a cup of keto coconut milk yogurt, homemade, with 1 tablespoon of chia seeds mixed in. And that's 3.9 grams of net carbs, and it's sweetened with some liquid stevia. I'm going to add 1 ounce of frozen pureed blackberries, just like I did with Dale, for 1.2 grams of net carbs. And that's going to make the yogurt 5.1 grams of net carbs. Chicken and squash is 10.1 grams of net carbs. And my greens, beets, and liver supplements is 1.8 grams of net carbs. I'll show this to you. So lunch altogether will be, let me check, yes, 17 grams of net carbs, higher than normal because I'm including the yogurt. I didn't want to have it as a morning snack. I saved it for lunch. Let me show you the supplements. This is the beef liver, 2 of those, grass-fed. My goal is to eat organ meat every day. Right now it's just the beef liver capsules. These are the beet powder. 6 capsules. And here are the greens. 6 capsules. Let me put these down so I can sign better. The greens are homegrown dark lettuce, dark green lettuce, dark red lettuce, a variety of cabbages, Napa cabbage, green cabbage, bok choy, broccoli leaves, turnip leaves, carrot tops, beet greens, a variety of greens, dehydrated and powdered and put into capsules. I used to eat the greens raw in smoothies, but I really got burned out. The liver I bought. When it's available and I can find it, I eat beef heart. But I haven't been able to find it recently. I've been so busy taking care of Dale, I've just been taking the beef liver capsules. Here's the yogurt with the blackberries. It's still frozen. Before I warm up the oil for Dale's lunch, let's discuss what he's having for lunch. I've recently had to tweak things because I've had to increase his potassium. I don't yet have it memorized, so bear with me. He's going to have 1 taco, just 1. So that's 1 tortilla, which is 4 grams of net carbs. And we'll fry it, and it's like a corn tortilla. We've discussed that before. 1 serving of keto taco meat, right here. About half a cup, 1.6 grams of net carbs. And there's no added sugar or starches, no added thickeners. And that's why it's homemade. And any recipe video links for recipes you see in this video are in the description. He's going to have 1 salad, 2.9 grams of net carbs. It's still in the fridge. I'll show it to you. Hang on. So we have dark colored lettuce, dandelion, however you spell that, dandelion greens, chopped all that up, broccoli rabe, chopped up, broccoli, cauliflower, red cabbage, beets, what else? What other greens? Bok choy, the tops, carrots, all mixed together. And we're going to add half a tablespoon of, let me check which dressing. Half a tablespoon of Caesar salad dressing. And this is Primal Kitchen. I'll show you the bottle. I'm going to double check the carb amount. Yes, half a tablespoon. Because I'm adding in more avocado to his meals, I have to cut back calories, and this is full of oil, so cutting it back to half a tablespoon. And I like Primal Kitchen because there's no soybean oil in it, but you need to read the labels because they're not all sugar-free. 1 ounce of Monterey Jack cheese, 0.2 grams of net carbs. 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds. These are roasted. Let me look at the amount. 0.6 grams of net carbs, because these are high in potassium, but they're low in carbs. And Dale can't eat them raw, so I did roast them myself. They're pretty good. It was hard to find in the store. There's a shortage, it seems. A lot of places were out. I think they come from China and Mexico is the reason. And 1 holy guacamole, 2 grams of net carbs, some on the taco and some on the salad. The same with the taco meat, some on the taco and some on the salad. 1 tablespoon of salsa. Make sure your salsa doesn't have corn, beans, or fruit. Check the labels, and that's 0.7 grams of net carbs. And I'm going to put that on the salad. With what else? The salad's going to have 1 ounce of Monterey Jack cheese also, 0.2 grams of net carbs. So 1 ounce for the taco and 1 ounce for the salad. Okay, my chicken's ready. Let's get it out of the oven. We need to do that before we start the oil and fry Dale's tortillas. Dale's lunch is 14 grams of net carbs, higher than mine, but remember, I don't eat dinner. After lunch, I'm only going to have my Chia cereal before bed. But Dale's going to have dinner and his nighttime yogurt snack with the blackberries. Okay, let's see. Let's work on the salad while the oil's warming up. Before surgery, Dale would never have eaten meat on a salad like this. He's really trying hard to eat more green vegetables and adjust things to control his blood sugar. He just tested it was 130. That's not bad. And that's the reason we keep breakfast at 4.1 grams of net carbs this morning. Before dinner, it'll be better, and by tomorrow morning, it'll be normal. Taco's going to stay warm in the toaster oven, and I need to dish up my squash and chicken. It's a little bit brown, but it'll still be delicious. Oh, a busy morning. Time for lunch. Tacos, yay! I forgot Dale's dessert is high-protein gelatin, 0.4 grams of net carbs, and half a serving of keto whipped cream, 0.9 grams net carb. And recently, Dale's been enjoying this frozen. Ooh, important, my dessert. Gelatine with whipped cream, my favorite. Yesterday I laid down for a nap, and boy, I struggled to wake up. Because I've been running on adrenaline since July last year, 2024. That's when they discovered the cancer. Basically been running in crisis mode for a year. Number one, my body's out of energy. And I can finally start to have some downtime. I'm still catching up on my rest. So Dale took care of his own dinner. He had keto grilled ham and cheese with double chips. And yes, he had salsa and guacamole with avocado pudding for dessert. Let me show you the foods. Grilled cheese stays stocked in the freezer, ready to go. There's 4 grams of net carb for each slice of bread. There's 2 slices of bread, so that's 8 grams of net carb. 1 ounce of no sugar uncured ham. There's no carbs in that. And 1 square of Havarti cheese. 0.3 grams of net carbs. Cooked in half a tablespoon of butter, which is less than I've done in the past, because now that he's eating the avocado pudding, that's high in fat, so I've cut down on the butter. 1 tablespoon of salsa, 1 gram of net carbs, and 2 ounces of guacamole, 2 grams of net carbs. So 2 ounces is equal to about half of an avocado. And double chips, 4 and 4, so 8 grams of net carbs with his avocado pudding. It's 2 ounces of avocado, half of a tablespoon of cocoa powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of liquid stevia, and a drop of vanilla, plus salt. The salt's important. 1.4 grams of net carbs. And here it is. And it freezes well. It doesn't get liquidy when it thaws. And this is to increase Dale's potassium, because its potassium is low. It's a better keto option than bananas or potatoes, which the doctor recommended. There are keto options for high potassium foods. So Dale yesterday, I had mentioned his nighttime snack, and the yogurt on my Carb Manager app says it's 8 grams of net carbs, but the container itself says 6. So I've been saying 8, but it's really 6 grams of net carbs. So altogether, he had 46.1 grams of net carbs for the day. And this morning, his blood sugar was in the 80s, so that's just perfect. My day yesterday, hang on, let me look at my notes. 28.4 grams of net carbs, because I eat keto. I eat keto to be in fat-burning mode for energy. Dale eats low carb. He has to have those keto chips, breads, tortillas, things like waffles. You have to have those to make it sustainable. Me, I love meat and vegetables, coffee. I don't need all these specialty products. They actually make my hunger increase. Like 1 cookie doesn't satisfy me, 1 keto bread doesn't satisfy me, where meat and vegetables will. So that's how we're different. The key is what you can sustain. What can you keep up? Because this is lifelong for us. I've been doing keto for 8 years, and Dale's been doing low carb for 7 years. And I've tried so many diets over my lifetime. The problem is, they were not sustainable because I was hungry. The best I ever felt was when I did a raw vegan diet. I mean, I really felt great, but I was always starving, and that is not sustainable. You can't keep that up. Keto is what works best for me. And that's our full day of eating. Both to manage weight and Dale to control his blood sugar, and me to manage my arthritis. Thank you for visiting Keto Living with Dale and Judith. See you later. Bye-bye.